Just right about there. Raise your right hand for us, please. Thank you. You solemnly state that the testimony you may give in the cause not before this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. Please take a seat with the witness stand right over there. And please adjust the microphone and tell us your first name. Tell us your name, then spell it for the record.
Terelle Ephron, Terellepphron.
Is there any seat rules? No, it's stationary. Never mind. And try to speak into the microphone. All right, Mr. Wellman, the floor is yours.
Morning, or good afternoon. Do you know the man seated at the table in the tan jacket?
Yes.
What's his name?
Rocky.
Identify Mr. Mayor.
Rakim Mayor.
And do you know him by any other nicknames?
ASAP Rocky. Lockwood.
How did you first meet him?
In high school, we grew up together.
How old were you, do you think, when you first met him?
Probably like 17, 18.
When you first met him, was he a well-known, famous rapper?
No.
I want to jump ahead to November 6th, 2021, the date of this incident. Do you remember approximately, or do you remember how old you were that day?
Excuse me?
How old were you on the day that this happened? Do you remember?
Probably 33, 32.
Okay. Would it be fair to say you knew him about maybe 15 years at that point?
Yes.
Over the 15 years that you knew him, were the two of you friends?
Yeah.
Can you describe the closeness of your relationship to him?
The whole 15 years?
Yeah, over the course of your relationship, sort of how it started and then how close you were throughout the 15 years.
Well, I mean, we started a collective ASAP, which is a bunch of, how would you call it, like a bunch of people from New York that got different yeah, I'm nervous.
It's okay. Just take a minute, take a couple deep breaths. The relationship that you're describing in high school, were the two of you close friends? Like, would you see him every day, or was this sort of a friendship where you knew of him but didn't really know him?
No, we knew each other. We knew each other. We knew each other very well. I mean, it was probably like 6 or 7 of us. Probably like 4 of them was rappers.
Do you think you'd see him every day?
Up until he got famous, yeah.
Okay.
Like a little bit until he got famous.
How long do you think you knew him before? I know it's hard to peg down exactly when someone becomes famous, but about how long do you think you knew him before he became famous?
7 years. 7 years.
And over that 7 years, it was a regular occurrence that you would be with him almost every day, correct?
Yeah.
Would you describe him at that time, the beginning of your relationship, as someone that was like a brother to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you started to tell us about ASAP. What does ASAP stand for?
And it means a lot of different things, but always strive to prosper.
Were you a member of ASAP?
Yes.
Within ASAP, did you have a nickname that you went by?
Yeah, Relli.
Was that something that started when you were in high school?
Yeah.
What year of high school, if you remember? Like, were you a junior, a senior?
Oh, it was like a senior.
Did you know someone by the name of Elijah Elang?
Yes.
Was he also a member of ASAP?
Yes.
Did he have a nickname that he went by in ASAP?
ASAP Bills.
I'm going to ask to mark my next exhibit.
10.
10? Do you recognize the person depicted here in People's 10?
Yeah.
And who's that?
Elijah.
Okay. Is it easier for you to refer to him as Elijah, Bills? How do you want to refer to him?
Bills.
Bills? Okay. Was he one of the kind of original members of ASAP?
Yeah.
How would you describe for the jury your relationship or your closeness with Elijah or Hills?
I mean, it was pretty good up until the incident.
Would you, up until the incident, would you have considered him a close friend of yours?
Yeah.
Was he someone that you would talk to on a regular basis?
Yeah, I talked to him the night before the incident. I was at his house actually.
Okay. Would it fair to say, kind of up until the day of that incident, you've known him maybe approximately 15 years too?
Yeah, just
Do you know someone by the name of Jamel Phillips?
yeah.
And is he also a member of ASAP?
Yeah.
What, if any, nicknames does he go by?
ASAP Kobe.
Can I read my next exhibit?
Is anybody having trouble here? Everybody's okay? You're having some trouble?
Yeah.
Mr. Ephron, could you try to speak up a little bit,
Yeah.
please?
I'm in our People's 11, Your Honor.
Yes. What is it?
It's a one-page document, a single photograph depicting two people. Mr. Ephron, showing you the person on the left in this photograph. Do you recognize who that is?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Jamel, 12.
And kind of like the same question with Hills, what's the easiest way for you to refer to him?
I was never really that cool with him.
No, I mean, as we're talking about the different people involved in this, how do you want me to refer to him? Do you want me to call him 12? Do you want me to call him Janelle?
12.
Okay, 12. And the person who's next to him in this photograph, do you recognize that person?
Yeah, that's Rocky.
All right. You said regarding 12 that you were not as close to him, correct?
Is that yes?
Yes.
How would you put it in your own words, how would you describe your relationship with 12 prior to the incident?
I mean, there was never no problems, but I never wasn't that cool with him. Like, we really didn't interact that much.
Would you, if
He
you
wasn't
saw him
like
somewhere?
He came kind of like later, so like I really wasn't like chilling with him or chilling with anybody who came after the fact. It was ASAP.
Okay. So what you're describing is kind of you and the defendant and Ills had known each other longer, and then 12B came after that core group was formed.
Yeah, so me, Jabari, Ills, and Rocky pretty much started ASAP. And
Okay.
anybody else who came after, if they wasn't like genuinely like trying to better themselves but do something other than like fooling around, kind of distance myself.
Okay. Is that, you mentioned the name Jabari. Who's Jabari?
What do you mean by that?
What's his name?
Jabari. That's the name. ASAP Bar.
Okay. Does he have any other nicknames that you go by?
Youngwood.
Would he also have been considered part of the ASAP collective that you described?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Within that collective of members of ASAP, were all the people that were members, were they all rappers?
No.
What were some of the other pursuits that members of ASAP would also pursue?
Fashion, producing, anything involved with like culture, really.
What, were you a rapper?
No.
What was your contribution to the group?
I was a manager. Not of ASAP, but I created my own company.
What was the name of your company?
Shut Eye.
And when you say you were a manager, what does that mean?
I was scout for talent, like I had producers, I had artists. I helped actual ASAP members with stuff.
So the managing that you're talking about is all related to the music industry,
Yes.
and you're saying you would try to find people who are talented at different areas within music, like rapping or producing, correct?
Yeah.
And would you try to help get them projects?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. The person that you refer to as Jabari, did you also refer to him as Bari?
Yeah. Yeah, Bar.
So if we say Jabari or Bari, we're talking about the same person?
Yes.
That person, Jabari, how close were you to him?
I would say we go to
Was he someone that you would see on a regular basis?
Yeah.
Did you have problems in the time that you knew him with him specifically? Is that no?
No.
Okay. Were you with Jabari the day before this incident on November 5th of 2021?
Yes, I was.
That day, November 5th, where in the country were you with Jabari?
We actually missed a flight. We were supposed to go to Chicago, but we was in LA.
Okay. So the whole time you're with him, you're in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Did you live in Los Angeles at the time?
No.
What state did you live in November of 2021?
New York.
How long have you been in Los Angeles on November 5th, 2021? So if you can tell us the exact day that you flew in, that's fine, or if you can just give us an estimate of how many days you've been in Los Angeles.
Probably flew in, I think the 5th
So that day?
or the 4th, I don't know. Like, my artist was in town, so he was recording. So I don't know, it was a while ago. I'll have to look at text messages or something like that.
Okay. Would that refresh your recollection?
Yeah.
Okay. May I approach him?
Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have to ask.
Yeah, I apologize. Right there, you told us that. Refresh your recollection.
Yeah.
Okay. So what days were you specifically in Los Angeles with your artist while he was recording?
Let me see that again, what day does it say?
What did you
I was
attempt
reading it, I didn't look at it.
Hold on. What did you attempt to refresh his recollection
A
with?
text message.
Is it a screenshot?
Yes. I wasn't going to mark it as an exhibit.
You don't have to. It's just used to refresh his recollection. It doesn't have to be an exhibit.
Let me see the date, I was just reading it.
Yeah, take your time.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so what days were you in Los Angeles with your artist?
Probably got there the 3rd day.
Okay.
Probably flew in the 3rd, because I got on the Airbnb. I was pretty close to my hotel.
Yeah, Terelle, you got to keep your voice. Try to. Your voice is soft, so try to speak into it.
So what I think you're saying is you arrived in Los Angeles, to the best of your recollection, November 3rd of 2021, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your artist, the artist that you were managing was recording music the 4th, 5th, and 6th, correct?
I believe so, yes.
How did you get to Los Angeles on the 3rd?
What do you mean?
And you're from New York. How did you get here?
Oh, flew.
When you say you flew, did you fly on a private plane or on a commercial jet?
On Delta. Commercial.
Did you have to go through airport security?
Yeah.
Okay, you said you met up with Jabari on November 5th in Los Angeles, correct?
Yeah.
Do you recall where you met him?
When I first met Jabari,
Yeah. Well, I
when I
mean,
first linked up,
that day, November 5th, where did you meet him?
in his apartment. I mean, in his house.
And is that in Los Angeles?
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
While you were with Jabari that day, did you overhear a conversation between Jabari and the defendant, Mr. Mayers?
Yeah, we was on our way back from the airport, and he got a call from Rocky.
So the defendant called Jabari,
Yeah.
and can you describe for the jury how it was that you were able to hear the defendant on that call?
We was in the back of the SUV, and he got a call from Rocky. He put the phone on his stomach, so he was laying back in the truck, and he put his phone on his stomach, and just was like listening, like talking to him.
Was the
And I'm in
phone
the other chair.
was the phone on speaker?
Yeah.
So you could hear both sides of the conversation.
Yeah.
What was the nature of the call between Jabari and the defendant?
It started off first, I believe, like Rocky was trying to get Barbie to come to this Complex Con 10-year anniversary thing, and Jabari declined, and the conversation got kind of weird, like, and then Jabari says something like, "Oh, I see you got ills and 12E on the jet," and it became like an inside joke because Rocky hasn't hit them, and it just became an inside joke, kind of. So then Rocky's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I got my niggas with me, boom, 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 whatever." And then instantly after that, he says, "Fuck that nigga Relli." And I'm like, I'm sitting in the back of the chair, and I kind of get up, and I'm like, and then Barbie like stops me. He's like, and then I'm listening, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't fuck with." Can I say what I want to say?
Yes.
Say it.
So he pretty much was like, "Oh, I don't fuck with that nigga. He mad emotional, like this, that, and the third." Pretty much. It was so long ago, but it was, and the contents of that. And then Jabari's like, "What you mean you don't fuck with him?" And he's like, "I just don't fuck with him. I don't like that nigga, like this, that, and the third." And after he said something about like, it's so long ago, but he was like, I'll beat him up or something like that. So, you want to keep going?
Let me stop you. You said that you keep saying he said. Were those all things that the defendant said specifically?
Yeah.
So he was the one that said he doesn't fuck with you, correct?
Yeah.
Had you said anything at that point in the car that would have alerted him to the fact that you were actually in the car?
No, he didn't know I was there.
Did
I
Jabari,
wanted to say something, but Ari was like kind of put his hand to the side to like my leg, you know what I mean? And I was just listening.
I'm assuming then that Jabari didn't tell him, "I'm in the car with..."
Oh no.
Okay, so as far as you knew, the defendant had no idea that you were in the car.
No, he had no idea.
Other than the specific things that you've already said he said about you, is there anything else that you can recall that the defendant said about you on that call?
Not at the moment. It was like 3 years ago. So like, I got anxiety. I got anxiety right now. So it's like I'm trying.
In the past, have you said that on that call, the defendant said, referring to you, he's a bitch.
That's what they did.
Stay.
All right. At that moment, on November 5th of 2021, were you aware of tension between you and the defendant?
See what you
At the point that the defendant is saying those things about you on the phone, were you also feeling tension in your relationship with him?
I mean, it's kind of always been like that. Towards, it's really hard having a relationship with Rocky.
Can you explain that?
I mean, you want me to tell me my personal experience, or
Yes.
I feel like he's fake.
How so?
He lies a lot. Like, I don't see him, so it's like, how are we gonna have a relationship? You know what I mean?
Is there anything specific that you can think of?
Yeah, with like my companies or just anything, like overall. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I had this one job I call him Mr. 6 month man, because I would see him every 6 months. You know what I mean? But then when you come around, it's like, it's fake. You know what I mean? Like, what are we supposed to be in this ASAP thing for? It's all smoke and mirrors.
Did you actually voice your displeasure
Oh,
to
yeah.
him?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Through text messages. But nothing ever, like, threatening him or anything, just mostly telling him, like, you gotta tighten up, this shit fake.
But you would text message him and say...
And he won't text me back. He would never text me back.
Okay.
I'll probably see him and we'll have a conversation. He'll be like, he'll laugh, like, oh, bro, you emotional or something like that. And intense, like, you know, shit like that.
When he calls you emotional, you heard that as an insult to you, correct?
Not really.
Okay, how did you take it?
Like, he's trying to shoot me off. Like, using that as, like, leverage to be like, not get business done, I guess.
All right, I want to direct your attention to the very next day, so November 6, 2021, the day of this incident. Where were you staying at that night in Los Angeles?
Staying at the Lowe's Hotel in Hollywood.
And that evening, did you have any plans to meet up with the defendant at all?
No, I haven't spoken to him in months, probably prior to that. I texted him, but he never answered me back.
You mentioned in your earlier answer that there was this event called Complex Concert going on that weekend, correct?
Yes.
And I believe you said the defendant was actually performing at that concert series, correct?
Yeah.
Did you have plans to go with the defendant to Complex Con?
No. I wasn't on that jet. I didn't get no phone call, so why would I, you know what I mean?
So that's, I guess, what I'm asking you to explain. As far as Complex Con, you had no plans to go there, and certainly not to go with him, correct? Did you have plans to go with Ills or with 12?
No.
What was your business in Los Angeles at that time?
Working with my artists.
And if you can recall, what are the hours that you're working with your artists?
Oh, I booked pretty much all day sessions. We was finishing up a mixtape for, I believe one of these labels wanted me to like show them like something like better than, because I had a couple songs, so they just wanted to see like a compilation of the work that I'm doing.
Okay. How long? You're saying hours, but how many hours would these sessions be?
I don't know. I would be in and out. I would never stay in the studio that long.
Okay.
I was looking for the artist.
At around 9:23 that evening, did you receive a series of calls and text messages from the defendant, Ills, and 12E?
Oh yeah.
At the time that you were receiving those communications, what were you doing?
I was sleeping.
Oh, well,
It is a single photograph, a screenshot of a call log. You want to do it?
no. Let me see. Oh,
I'm just showing you.
right.
I'm going to show it to you. You recognize what you see here?
Yeah.
And what is this?
This is my call-out.
And is this a photograph that you specifically took? Like a screenshot?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is reflected in your call log here?
What do you mean?
Okay, all these numbers are in red. Does that mean anything to you?
Missed call?
And who were the people that you were missing calls from starting at the top of the page?
Rocky. That's a larger number. That's 12B, 12B. Elijah, Rocky.
Okay. And did you receive those missed calls kind of in quick succession? Meaning like right after each other?
I don't know. I woke up to a FaceTime call from Rocky. So then after I noticed I had all those missed calls, I didn't even like wake up and notice the calls.
Prior to you waking up, did you receive any text messages from the defendant?
Wait.
So you say you received a bunch of missed calls while you were asleep. You woke up, you answered your phone, talked to him, and then you kind of went back and looked at your phone afterwards. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Yes.
And that's when you saw you had a bunch of missed calls from him and Elijah at 12. Did you also have text messages from him?
Yeah.
We'll mark my next turn. 13. If I may approach with people's 13 now. This, you recognize what you see here?
Yeah.
And just in general, what is this photograph?
This is a screenshot.
Of your phone?
Mm-hmm. Me and Rocky's
Is that
text
yes?
message. Yes.
And is this screenshots, text messages that you received from him that day?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You said yes?
Yes.
Sorry. Every time you say that, or he's going to
Just
ask
a
you.
little
Yeah, but if you can, try to say yes or no.
Yes.
So there are 3 messages at the top that are in gray. Are those from you or are those from the defendant?
That's from Rocky.
And if you would read them one after another, what do they say?
Where you at? Question mark. Let's get to it. Stop ducking my calls.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. When he texted you, specifically the phrase, let's get to it, did you know what he was referring to?
I mean, I had kind of an idea that he wanted to probably fight or something, or just argue or something. I don't know.
What gave you that idea?
The day before his conversation.
So you still have that conversation that he had with Jabari in your head at the time you read that text message?
Yeah, that conversation spoke volumes because I never heard him talk like that. And over the whole, many years I know him, I told him a bunch of times, if you ever had a problem with me, let me know. Because shit's not adding up.
Okay. When you said that you thought he wanted to fight you, what do you specifically mean by that phrase, fight?
Like, what do you mean by that?
Do you mean physical violence? Do you mean an argument? What do you
Yeah, like an argument,
phrase?
maybe like a physical, I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking.
Did, at that point, were you wanting to have a physical fight with him?
No.
Those text messages that you read from him, when you read those, did you perceive those to be aggressive towards you?
Yeah.
Now, you said also when you woke up, you talked to him on FaceTime, correct?
Yeah.
What was your conversation with him about?
He was just more so like, okay, so he was like, where you at? And I'm like, huh? And then he's like, where are you? Like, kind of like broke it down. And I'm like, instantly, I don't know, for some reason, I just told him the W. You know what I mean? And then he's like, no, you're not. That's a bum-ass hotel. So I'm like, and then he's like, show me where you at. So then I got up to bed and I kind of, the Lowe's Hotel is on Hollywood. The W is in Hollywood. So it kind of, everything kind of looked the same. So when I showed him outside, I think that was good enough to the point he believed I was at the W.
Okay. When you said you received this call, were you fully awake even when you started talking to him?
No, I was still asleep, kind of.
And you said he first asked you where are you at, and you said, I think you said huh.
Yeah, I said,
And then you said he broke it down, where you at?
no, where are you? Like, where you at? Where are you? Like, kind of like with force the second time. Like,
Okay, that was even my question. What was his tone of voice when he said, where are you?
okay, so the first one was like kind of regular. After I said or whatever, the second one was just like, wait, like, you know, it was a problem. Like, where are you? Like, where you at? Like, you know what I mean?
And you said that after you told him you were staying at the W, he called your room a bum-ass room.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
I guess it's what they look like the W.
Like not as nice?
I don't know.
How did you receive it?
Getting pretty, like, I was still sleeping. I didn't care. I just wanted to show him outside the window, just figure out what the hell is going on. You know what I mean? Are we gonna link up? Like, what's going on? Like, what's the purpose of this call?
At the moment you're talking to him, did you have any idea why you wanted to meet up with you?
No.
Okay, you said you showed him Hollywood Boulevard outside of your hotel. What was the next thing that happened in your phone call after that?
I think he said he'd be right there. And then that's when I text Elijah, like, because then I'm looking at my phone and I'm noticing I got all these text messages. And like I said, Jamel texted me too and called me, but I don't like shit up like that. So I like ills. I know ills, you know what I mean? So text ills. I'm like, what's going on? Pretty much.
Hold on.
I don't remember exactly what I said from that day because it was 3 years ago, but I hit ills to like kind of confirm like what's going on.
Yeah, and that's fine. At that point, did you know that 12B and Hills were with the defendant?
What do you mean? Like,
Did you know that
Come
the
in.
two of them worked together?
like come to link me?
No, I mean in general. That
Oh yeah, because it was on the plane.
Okay. And so when you received the messages from Hills and from 12B, you understood at that time that they were with the defendant, correct?
Yeah.
After your conversation let me clarify that when you say you're on FaceTime, was that FaceTime that also had video associated with it?
Yes.
So he could see you through the phone, too, correct?
Yes.
After your conversation with him, did the two of you make plans to meet up?
I mean, I didn't really make plans. It was kind of like link up. And I wanted to, thought we were just gonna talk and like really hash things out. Because this happened before, not like this, but like when we talk shit out, you know what I mean? And like I said, I call him Mr. 6 month, and I haven't seen him in a very long time. So maybe he hasn't read the room, you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah.
You said in the past when you had problems with him, you felt comfortable just expressing that to him verbally and talking to him, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
And was that sort of something that had happened on multiple occasions where the two of you would talk and work out your problems verbally?
And I'm going to ask the meeting be curtailed a little bit, please, so we have that question.
Your Honor, we can over.
Can you say that again, please?
Was that something that had happened multiple times where the two of you would talk and work out your problems, or was that something that only happened once before?
I mean, if we worked out our problems, we wouldn't be here. So this was an ongoing thing of just like open-ended dreams or like promises or anything, you know what I mean? But I didn't care really. I was always working towards my goals at the end of the day, what I wanted to do.
Sure.
Accomplish out the situation.
I guess what I'm trying to listen or ask you about is, have you had problems in your relationship with the defendant prior to this?
I wouldn't say problem. I don't know. Me personally, I never had a problem with him, but I think he had a problem with me.
Okay. You say, I think the words that you used to describe what
No,
you
I
were-
actually do know he had a problem with me because in the text message, he says that I got him cut, like I let him get cut. And that happened a year or something. So that means you're holding on a grudge and something I didn't even had nothing to do with.
Okay, we'll get there. Hold on.
I feel like that was our whole relationship, like just weird grudges. Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Are you saying that you felt like he had a problem with you, but you didn't have a problem with him? Is
Yeah,
that?
no, of course I didn't have a problem with him.
But you had sent him messages in the past where you had expressed, your disappointment in him. You already said that, right?
Yeah.
So there
And I
was
think we have those text messages. The text messages, I always still, like, how you say it, like, complimenting him or big him up for his success. At the same time, like, you're doing bad.
Okay.
But then the same text messages, like, I never was, like, just straight out, like, oh, fuck you. I never said fuck you. I probably did, but it was like, real wishy-washy in the sense, like, love, like, I don't know, some, but I never really got responses back from him.
I'm trying to understand, if you can, what your state of mind is as you're going to this meeting with him, or as you said, to link up with him.
My state of mind?
Yes.
I was feeling real confident because, like I said, I don't think he read the room. I'm doing really good for myself. So I felt like this is a time for me and him to like actually come to common grounds and be like, fuck the bullshit. You know what I mean? Because what are we doing here? Like you talk to everybody else like that. You're not talking to me like that. Nor am I accepting of this. You know what I mean?
When you say read the room, what do you mean by that phrase?
Because why would you do what you did if you're not under? I say read the room is because like you're not reading the room, like you're not knowing who you're dealing with. You know what I mean? Like you're thinking you could just he knows of me, but he didn't know what I was up to. So you're probably thinking I'm a bum or I'm not like this person, somebody you could just have your way with.
Did you feel personally like your music career was becoming more successful?
Yeah, for sure. I was going in and out of label meetings.
Would you say at that point that was essentially the height of your career in the music business? Have you been more successful? Okay.
Yeah. In the music industry, yeah. Yeah, I was at my highest I've ever been because I finally figured it out. I figured out how to make money back into everything. So I made my own label.
Sorry, and I don't mean to talk over you. My apologies for that. You said that going into this meeting, you were confident. Is that what you mean by?
It wasn't even a meeting. I wouldn't even call it a meeting. It was just like, I'm linking up with Rocky. I
What does
haven't
that
seen
mean?
it do it in dumb long.
Yeah.
Like, anytime you want, like, you're gonna go link him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see the dude.
What does that phrase "link with him" mean to you? Are you saying something less, like more informal than
Like,
we
if,
have?
for instance, if we had a problem, I felt like it could have been hashed out the moment he seen me. But instead, it was like, it got nasty. You know what I mean? Like he didn't read the room. He didn't take a second to think.
Okay. Where is it specifically that you ultimately linked up with?
Well, when I was walking from Lowe's, because it's kind of far away, I was texting Elijah, and then I told him I'm like next to Trader Joe's or something because I know the area of the W. So then when I don't really know the streets, so the top of where the W is at, I just, instead of being on the side of W, I cross the street for some reason. And then I see Rocky walking, well, I don't see him yet, walking down the block. Then I hear him. I hear him first before I even see him. He has a hoodie on.
Okay. Is there any kind of landmark in the area that where you ultimately linked up with him?
What do you mean?
Meaning, you're saying I don't remember what the streets were called. That's okay, but was there something on the street where you met him that you could say we were outside of this?
Oh, it was directly across from the entrance way of the W. Like, there's a parking lot, like where we stopped at. Kind of.
I'm going to mark my next exhibit, Your Honor.
14.
Mr. Ephron, showing you equals 14. Do you recognize what you see there?
Yeah.
And do you see the entrance of the parking lot that you were talking about?
Yeah, so I was walking like right here.
There's a pointer. You see a wooden pointer anywhere?
So I was walking on this block, coming straight here, and then he was like somewhere right here, and then I heard him. You want me to check what out?
Well, I'm just asking, do you recognize this area?
Oh yeah.
And is that specifically the parking lot that you met him in front of?
Yeah.
All right. You said you don't know the streets in that area very well, but did you know where Hollywood Boulevard was?
Yeah.
And were you at all close to Hollywood Boulevard?
Yes, the main like strip, I believe.
Would that have been like directly above where you
Yeah,
met him?
above.
All right, I'm going to show you number 2, where Hollywood Boulevard is labeled here at the top. You see that?
You see what now?
Is the screen in front of you working? Just so you don't have to turn around.
No, it's not.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Along the top of this page, I know there's a lot going on here, but you see, can you recognize this to be Hollywood Boulevard at the top?
I'm not from LA, so
Okay.
I wouldn't really, but that's how we will Boulevard.
Let's go to People's Exhibit 2. This is clearly marked there.
Oh
Hollywood
yeah,
Boulevard.
yep.
Sorry, People's One. Thank you. the street that you came down was next to the W Hotel, correct? I know it's not marked on here, but
Yeah, where's the hotel?
did you come down a street that was right next to the W Hotel?
Yes.
And you came from Hollywood Boulevard down the street?
Yeah. Because I traveled from the Lowe's, so I took out Hollywood Boulevard.
Did you walk pretty much Hollywood Boulevard the entire way?
Yeah.
And you said then at the W, then you turned and came down the street next to the.
Yeah, Argyle.
Okay. If you don't remember the name of the street, that's fine. Just you can tell us by the landmark. But what you're saying is you came Hollywood Boulevard to the W, and then you turned down a small street that was next to the W.
Mm-hmm.
Is that yes?
Yes.
And I believe you said in your prior answer that the street that you were on had the entrance to the valet area of the W, correct?
No, I wasn't on the side of the W.
No, I'm saying that street is where you would enter the W Hotel.
Oh, yeah, yes.
And, but you said you were specifically on the other side of the street from the W.
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to the parking garage. You described it before on People's 14, coming this way, so from the lower left-hand corner towards the top right-hand corner of the page in that direction on the sidewalk here, correct?
Yes.
So would the W have been on the opposite side of the street?
Get a break. So.
And as you were walking down that street, what was the next thing that you remember that caught your attention?
I didn't see nobody. I heard Rocky though. I heard him say, "What now, pussy?" But it's been so long, so I don't. What now, pussy, or what now? Something along the lines of that. Like he was like, "What now?"
And what was his tone of voice?
Oh, he was loud. Like that's what caught my attention. And then I seen Elijah, and then Jamel, and then that's when I'm walking. Like, cause I was continuing walking. I wasn't like stopping or waiting around anywhere. I was already walking. They was already there. So
Where?
I guess they was already on Argyle because they was calling me still. Elijah was calling me to see where I'm at. Mind you, I was far. That hotel was far. So when I got there, I'm walking down the block. I wasn't like waiting, calling him or anything. I'm still en route, pretty much. So I hear him as I'm en route still. And then that's when we meet up and then we see the altercation.
But you're saying the first thing that caught your attention was his voice, correct?
Yeah.
Saying, "What now, pussy?"
Yeah, when I pussy.
And it was loud.
Yeah.
Was it aggressive?
Yeah.
Okay, after that, hearing that, did you see him?
Yeah, truthfully, it was all like a movie. It was like literally
How
like
so?
a movie.
Explain that.
Just the way he was walking, the whole thing, like the hoodie, like it would just caught me off guard. You know what I mean? Like it was no time to talk, no time for nothing.
Right. These people don't know what you're talking about with the hoodie, though. Can you explain what you mean when you say with the hoodie?
Oh, because he had a hoodie on.
Up over his head?
Yeah.
Okay. And was he walking straight towards you?
Yeah.
Was, you said Ills and 12 were with him. How close were they to him?
Oh, it was right behind him.
Were they facing you too?
My eyes was on Rocky at that point. Like when he said, "What now, pussy?" I was like, he's right there. You know what I mean?
You're focused on him.
Yeah.
But you can kind of see in your periphery that the two other guys are with you.
Yeah, for sure.
Close.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that yes?
Yes.
Do you know why I keep saying that?
No.
All right, see this lady right here? She's a word reporter, and she's taking down every word that
No,
everybody's...
I'm like really nervous.
No,
So I'm like, you know what I
it's
mean?
okay. A lot of people get nervous when they're right there. I don't want you to think I'm messing with you when I say is that yes or no. She has to take down every word that everybody says. And when you say or it's not clear what you mean. So that's why I'm saying yes or no. So the court reporter's clear.
Like a bracelet.
What?
Bracelet.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. As best you can, if you could take yourself back to that moment, as you're walking up towards him, were you expecting to get in a physical fight with him?
I mean, at that moment, the way, before then, no, I thought maybe we was going to talk. Or even when he did bring them, I thought maybe he was bringing them to like make a statement or something to like let them think that he's like tough or something. I don't know. That's what I kind of thought like after.
No, I'm not talking about ills or 12. I'm just talking about the defendant.
Okay.
Were you approaching him of the state of mind that you were going to have a physical fight with him?
No, the whole time, to be honest, I would never fight Rocky. And that's God's honest truth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a reason to fight him. We're in an industry where you get blackballed really easy. I'm obviously on the lower end of the stick here. You get what I'm saying? So that's why in the video, you notice I'm a lefty. I pushed him away with my left. He grabbed me with two hands. If I wanted to fight him, and mind you, we're walking. If I wanted to fight him, I would have hit him with the right. You get what I'm saying? And it would have been fighting. Like, I stopped him with my left. And in the video, that's when you see Elijah, like, kind of like breaking it up after.
Before we talk about the video, we get there. I want, if there's any other way that you can explain that to the jury, what it would mean for you to get in a physical fight, specifically with the defendant, at that moment.
The only thing that would make me fight Rocky is if I'm physically like hurt, like if he punched me. Then I would consider hitting him or fighting him. But I would give him, just because who he is, like I wouldn't, and I think he uses that to his benefits or like whoever famous whoever that shit is. But like I wasn't gonna fight him.
What would it mean for your career if you got in a physical fight with him?
Oh, it would be over.
How so?
It would be over.
Can you
Literally
explain
over. You don't have a career.
Was that in your head?
I'm like part of a conglomerate, like a group. So if I fight Rocky and I beat him up, or if we fight or something, I'm already not liked, and people don't like me and shit like that. So I'm fighting him. I'm definitely getting blackballed, and all the labels like him and work with him and do this. You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to swither my way in. You know what I mean? So if that comes to like light that we fought or something like that, I'm pretty sure it won't go good. Like nobody would do business with me or other things like that, you know what I mean?
Okay. I want to ask you just about a couple things you just said in your answer. You mentioned ASAP in that. Was the defendant kind of the most successful member of ASAP at that point?
Oh yeah, for sure.
By far?
By far.
Would he have been kind of the leader of ASAP, even if not formally? Would
I wouldn't call him the leader, but
You both can't talk at the same time. Hold on. Ask the question again.
Would other members of ASAP kind of turn to him when they have projects or things like that?
not too many people. It wasn't real motion. Like then, it was pretty much whatever Rocky got going on. Like people would try things, but it kind of got to like what Rocky's doing, or like stuff like that.
Okay. I mean, what I hear is you're saying he was like really the only highly successful member of this.
No, because then you got Jabari that creeped through the doors, through his beat alone, you know what I mean? You got Ferg who did music, but everybody else, good luck.
Okay.
And I mean, good
Including
luck.
yourself?
Yeah, for sure. I was definitely down and out.
Let's take a break now.
Okay.
Folks, we'll take 15 minutes. Please be outside the courtroom doors at 3:30.